Hey there, it's Greg T. Hey there, this is Greg T. Hey there, it's Greg T with the Image Stop and Think Beyond the Brand, and this is your branding moment. This branding moment is one that is near and dear to me, and I love where we're going with this one. Why? I've got a few experiences to share. But first of all, I want to tell you, okay, if you'd like to kind of do a little favor, go down here into the subscription area, subscribe to the channel, check and see what's going on. You'll be updated with all the new releases we have. And you know what? You want to hear what's going on? Click the bell, and you know what that means. And above all, make some comments. Want to hear what you want to talk about and what things that you want to hear. So with this branding moment, it comes down to how we deal with our clients and how we deal as clients, okay? Things happen, okay? Let's be real about it. Things happen that are unexpected, whatever they may be. Perfect example. First of all, you don't know a lot about me. I can tell you that I work on the side as an impersonator, magician. I'm an entertainer. I have fun. I do mentalism shows. I have a blast with this kind of thing, okay? Been doing it for years and years and years, and honestly, it's fun. So I was at an event yesterday. It was a water festival, and I was doing my Captain Jack Sparrow impersonation, walking about, did a show. It was a blast. Out of nowhere, we had this huge wind come in. I'm talking tents flying. We had these huge, not the regular size small ones, but the big, huge porta potties fall over and get shoved down, through the fairground area of this thing. Fortunately, nobody was seriously hurt. Everything was okay there, but it was scary. Out of nowhere, okay? Fortunately, it was after my show. I got that part done, but you know what? You don't expect these things to happen. Heck, in my show, I had my big stand fall over. Child in the front row, old enough, caught it, thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, not part of the show. That was not good. Things happen, all right? And unfortunately, we have to try and do our best to be, A, prepared for these things, and B, understand that things happen. So let's go back into the branding moment and what we're talking about as far as a supplier and as a client. As a supplier, you've got to understand that things are going to happen. They're going to come out of the blue, okay? You're going to have these surprise events that take place, and you didn't see them coming, and it's how you react that is going to affect your brand either positively or negatively. The same goes as a client. Okay, as a client, you're going to things happen that happen with some of your suppliers that are unexpected. You're going to have things that happen with suppliers that you don't understand. That maybe at first look like an insufficiency of them to be able to deal with things, to be able to even function properly, and it may start to question whether you want to maintain and keep them as a supplier. But I'm going to use a couple stories here, that's happened with our company, and how that can positively be dealt with. Okay, and I'm going to use some examples on both sides so you understand. First of all, as a supplier, we as a web development and web design and branding specialization company offer hosting to our clients as a reseller through other hosting, okay, and everything. A couple things that happen. Well, first of all, there's a specific theme that we use when it comes to our website development because they, as a theme developer or as a company who offers the tools for web developers and web designers to build great websites, okay, ones that clients can use and can interact with and work well. I'm going to clarify that because we are a customer service company. What ends up happening is things can go wrong, as we said. And this past week, we noticed within our email, we were getting a rather large amount of spam coming through the contact forms. Even with, the whole CAPTCHA thing, whether that be, I'm not a robot or the math question that people answer. What happened was, plain and simple, spammers figured out a way. They figured out the program and worked their way around and managed to get things through and sending emails through the contact forms. So we were getting a large amount of spam. Well, we got an email from a client, I believe it was Friday. This is Sunday, by the way, that I'm doing this recording. And client said, hey, we're getting a lot of spam. Now, with all due respect, okay, they said, we've got like 5 or 6 today. I know developers and designers are going, 5 or 6? Wow, that is an amazing, great day. Okay, for a client, it's not. Okay, they don't expect this. They don't want to get this, and they all of a sudden started receiving stuff that it just was not acceptable. Don't want to get into the content of the spam because we know what kind of stuff comes through. Okay, let's be real. So, what we did as a company is we acknowledged, first of all, that, you guys do have this problem. We know we're on it. We're dealing with this. Can you give us a few details? Which they did. And I said, thank you. This is not something that's going to be solved really quickly, just so you're aware. It's going to take some programming to be done, but it's being worked at. We're in contact with the developers. Well, lo and behold, There's a reason why we take and do the research. This is why we dig deep when it comes to who we work with, whether that be on the development side, whether that be on the hosting side, whether it be on the design side, whether it be on the IT side. We deal with good clients. I didn't say perfect. I said good clients. So things can go wrong. Well, here we are. Yesterday, that company sent out a release, the ones that developed this theme, that they have a new update that is available that deals with the spam going through their contact forms. So we today jumped in on a Sunday and make sure that some of the initial sites of ours were covered and have been updated. We have jumped in with that one client that sent the email, make sure that they are done. And we're sending out a notice to all of our clients, whether they are using that theme or not, whether they are using our website maintenance programs or not, to let them know that this is an issue, this issue can be solved, here's what we do to solve it, and if they'd like to work with us on the maintenance side, we'd love to sign them up. And you know what? If they just need this thing updated, let us know. We'll go in and do so. That's it. No charge. Okay, we're not doing the full maintenance update and backups and so on and so forth, but we are going to do this because it's a thing that affects our clients. That's good on the supplier side, okay? Both us and the company that's helping and working and making sure that these themes were updated properly. This is why we work with good people, right? This is a company I can talk about and say, they're phenomenal. Love working with them, okay? On the hosting side, let's do it with something else, okay? So this is, again, supplier and client. Okay, the supplier being one of the companies that we use as a reseller. Okay, so we resell space for our clients to be hosted there. Well, we were noticing that we were having some difficulties working within some of the sites. We kept getting delays and some of the slowdowns in the websites, and we contacted this company and said, "Hey, we're having these issues. I think this is what it is." We explained what we thought it was, because we do know a thing or two. Okay, and they came back and first said, "Well, you should upgrade your account and upgrade to a new package." And we said, no, stop. Well, we work with several companies as a reseller, and we name them. And we use these guys, and we're having very much the exact same kind of sites, same themes, same everything, and they don't have the slowdown. Something is happening or set up within the way that you have your system set up. They took a serious look at it, because I said, you know what? And this is the thing. As a client, there's good ways and bad ways of handling it. I could have got angry. I could have got upset. I didn't. We stopped and said, there's an issue. What can we do about that? We talked about it. They came up with a temporary solution. Said, we're going to help you with we're going to make sure that you're set up properly on your accounts that you have within your folder. Okay, with your website hosting package there. And we're going to work on a permanent solution that's going to go across the board with these all packages, because they understood that, hey, what do you know? This theme that we're using is the most widely used and downloaded a theme in WordPress history. We're WordPress experts, so that's why we work. We understand these things, so they're going to work with this because they understand that there's repercussions that reach further. Okay, awesome to hear. When you're a client, talk to your suppliers. Talk to them. Give them a chance to be who they need to be and who they can be to you. Do not expect perfection. Okay? Well, I said they're going to tell you some other sides too. So let's go on that side. We're going to talk about how you deal with things as a client when things happen. Okay? A, let the developer work things. Listen to how they do things. Now, it may be that they don't operate the way that works well with your systems and how you function. That's fine. But we say in our Think Beyond the Brand system, and in our book, okay, which is almost done, by the way. But we say that a big thing that's really important is any company and any brand, as you are going through, your day-to-day, your company growth, your expansion, whatever it might be, is to remember to look in the mirror and see the reflection for what it truly is every single day. And not through your own eyes, but through the eyes of the people that deal with you. No, I'm not saying to change yourself, and make it so that you are adapting to fit everything out there. You can't do that, okay, realistically. But you can look on there and make sure you're treating people well. We had a client within the last week or two that we were dealing with, and our systems didn't seem to mesh. I'll be quite honest with you. We're working through things because our belief is that when we're doing design work, okay, because we are specialists in the marketing, design, and branding, that there's a lot of things you need to think through, okay? So we focus on, 100 different things as opposed to here's what it looks like, isn't it pretty? Okay. Is it sellable? Is it something that's going to drive your viewers, whether it be a handout or something online, to want to engage and to deal with and to dig further into? Okay. Is it going to make them question and stop and hold back a little bit? Well, we want to look at that. That can be as simple as the use of fonts, the use of bold versus regular fonts versus semi-bold fonts versus ultra-bold fonts. It can be because where your call to actions are actually placed. Is it too soon? Is it too salesy? Is it way down? Is it too far? Are they not getting to that by the time they're bored and want to put things down or move on? These things are critical. The use of fonts themselves are critical. The placement of images and the colors and how they are placed and worked within the document or within the website are important. They're not just put randomly around there. Branding isn't just, here's my color, here's my logo, here's my font, go. How are they used properly? How is all this stuff woven together to work well? So we focus on all those things. Well, the client in question here didn't fully understand those things, I don't believe. They would say they did, to be quite honest with you. And I think there was an ego in play, to be quite frank. There was also a lot of control issues in play. So because of the way everything developed, one person was initially starting with the project, and then the owner came in and took over. Some things got juggled around and potentially missed in the process. Well, when we're doing proofs, we will tend to make sure so that we have a basic visual of everything so that clients can see how everything looks. Well, after going through several iterations, the owner suddenly jumped in and at one point and said, "Hold it! You made some dramatic changes to this portion of our stuff that we were designing." Okay, a little dramatic on the presentation there, because they were not dramatic changes. They were very simple, actually, from the design side. But what they meant to say was, I noticed that there's some differences here. Why is that? I didn't know that. Our response was, we never received the original files for using this section, okay? But send it to me, no problem. I can fix that. Throw it in there for you, no problem. At that point, the client started using some language and was rather aggressive, to be honest with you. It did not set well with myself. And I called him on it. I said, that's a little severe, and it's no problem to fix. I will change that. Please, send me the original work, and I will get that in there in place. As a part of our customer service, we make sure that we do our best when it comes to our proofing and presentations. Understand, proofing. Okay, starting something at the very beginning, looking at the samples of what somebody sends you, okay, is a part of the process. That's where you get the choice to go, that's good or that's not good. I like it or I don't like it. There's a problem with this area or everything's great. That's what proofing is all about. It's not to say, hey, I don't like that, you're horrible. Not true, and not the way to deal with it. So in the end, what ended up happening is the following day, this was a Thursday, that initial discussion happened. The following day on the Friday, received some more rather pointed, unwarranted email that was unfortunately not addressed to myself, but my office manager. And it was, this wasn't here this way. I'm supposed to get this. Here I am sending you this thing again to explain what it is I want. It had to do with an invoice, believe it or not. Nothing major. And I jumped in and I said, all right, first of all, the information you wanted was supplied. It was supplied as we told you. I believe you may have misunderstood the email that we sent. Is this satisfactory? We did send an email requesting or asking if this was satisfactory to you previously. We hadn't seen a response. Is this satisfactory? Please let us know. Well, at that point, we had a quick meeting and about this client. And the decision was, as of the Monday, Tuesday, because we're going to give them a chance to apologize for the way that they dealt with some things. Monday or Tuesday, we were going to explain that this was no longer a relationship that we felt was going to work between us because there was expectations from the other side that we did not feel that we could accommodate. Unfortunately, no apology came. In fact, instead, there was an email on the following day, the Saturday, that said, we are no longer working together. We're done. What bothered me the most in this, or I guess two things. For one, we're not fully allowed to be the developer or the designer and the marketing expert that we are in our designs. because our designs were questioned and stifled. I say this in that when you get something that says, here's a design we kind of want, based on what you did with your original proof, but you're the experts, you make it look good. So we did. And the response is, why'd you change this? Why'd you change that? Why'd you change this? That's not right. I gave it to you this way. Put it back the way it's supposed, the way I gave it to you. You told me to make it look better. We felt that the choice of ABC wasn't quite correct. That's what we said internally, of course. Externally, we changed it back and said, here you go. Unfortunately, some clients want to do that because they feel they know better. And that's fine. Sometimes they do know their industry better, and that's okay. So there was that. And you know what? It's not the way to respond to things when they're off. Okay, you burn bridges that way. You end up hurting your relationships, and this filters through on a long-term basis. You don't want to do that. We, on a good side, just had a new client / old client come in this past week. This old client, okay, left us because they were working with us and another client combining two different services, okay, or another service provider, sorry. So they were getting two different services from the two different places. Well, the other company decided to basically pull the rug out from underneath us and said, hey, we can offer the same things that those guys offer, so we can put it all together, and here's a nice big package for you. Well, it looked nice and shiny for the client, and they took it. Of course they did, Have all your services in one spot to make it comfortable. Some people look at that as very appealing, and I understand that fully. So we said, no problem. Here's all the files and things that you need. Good luck with your services. Well, here we are about a year later, and that client's come back. They weren't happy with the services they got overall with the other client or with the other service provider. The other service provider said, we can do this and this and this and this, and we're going to do a great job. Us as a company, we don't believe that you do all these things great. You do specific elements, 1, 2, maybe 3 max, really well. We like to focus on this. So when it comes to web design, we offer great websites that people will interact with. We work with some great SEO companies, one specifically I'm thinking of right now, that offer SEO that's going to help there. And we work with great marketing companies. We know marketing, but we don't do the marketing plans. Let's use a marketing company here. So we work with some great providers, and then we provide an excellent service in the end with a combination of what we do. So as a result, the client who wasn't happy with the other company, because they tried to do everything and it diluted things, went to a marketing company that said, we need help. This is a problem we're having. We're not seeing the results. What do we do? And that company said, well, you know what? I work with some great SEO people, the one I mentioned. And I work with a great web development and hosting company that has a great maintenance plan that will help you out. And they mentioned us, of course. And that client went, yeah, we know Greg T and the Image Stop. Love to work with them again. No problem with them. They're great. Nobody burned bridges, and it worked really well. That's the way to deal with issues. Okay? Bring them up, talk about them, decide if it's going to work, and if it is going to work, let that company make it work. Let them do their job. But if you decide it's not going to mess with you because that doesn't work with who you are, or as a company, or how you develop things, then make it a positive separation. Work things in a positive manner, because you never know how it's all going to come around. And as big a world as this is, people talk. It's Greg T with the Image Stop and Think Beyond the Brand, and I hope that, you're dealing with your clients, and you're dealing with your suppliers in a very positive manner and working things, because overall, this is what happens to make things work well. And here is to your success.